I just want to talk about shifting your mindset and shifting your perspective. Like, as for me, I'm a walking contradiction, and I'll admit it. I might have said certain things a year ago that I contradict myself on today, or I might have even said things a month ago that I contradict myself on today. But that's what comes with shifting your mindset and your perspective. You have to be able to contradict yourself. A lot of people out here, they don't, they want to seem too real. They want to be able to stand on what they said and seem like they're too real to contradict themselves, but you have to be able to contradict yourself if you want to shift your mindset, because that's how you remain stuck when you just have one fixed way of thinking about something. And most people get trapped in that because like like a certain thought pattern that they had, it probably reflected true in their reality and the current reality that they were in at that time. So for example, when a kid has a belief that Santa Claus is real, that can really be a belief in their mind, and it might ring true to them in that moment or at that time period. In their mindsets, that might be a truth in their reality, but it's not a truth for real. But in their minds, it's a truth. So they're gonna hold on to that belief in that moment. But then once they find out that Santa Claus is not real, they shift their mindset because they found out that it wasn't real. And it's the same thing with most people, but they don't look at it like that. Certain people might think a certain way about a certain subject or a certain topic or anything, and it might ring true to them in that moment. And it might just be true in your reality at that time. You might have certain emotions attached to the thought patterns. Like, you might just be attached to a certain way of thinking because it reflects true in your reality and your emotions are attached to it. And the reinforcement that you get back from it is that it's true. You might even be experiencing it and living it. But what you gotta realize is that your current reality it's always shifting. And you're always changing. Like, our current reality is a constant change. It's constantly changing. And and we are constantly changing. We're constantly we're constantly being different. Nothing ever stays the same. I mean, certain things stay the same, but most things are just constantly changing. But when you get so attached to a certain belief that you had in the current, like, in one of your current realities, you just get too caught up in it. But you gotta realize that reality is constantly shifting and you're constantly shifting. So most of your perspectives that you have are just based off of a current reality that you were in. But you continue to hold on to those thought patterns. But it's not gonna, like, your reality is constantly changing. So most of them beliefs might have rang true to you during your old reality. But in the current reality, it's shifting. But most people will still hold on to those thought patterns because that's what they're used to and it's what they think is true. But you have to constantly shift your mindset. You have to constantly look at things differently because everything is constantly changing, bro. So if you're stuck on one certain mindset or one certain way of doing something, you're going to become stagnant because you're still basically carrying a thought form from your old reality. But the new current reality is shifted. So all those old beliefs, some of them, they might have even been true, because certain things are true, but just they're true within that reality that you were in. But that's how people get caught up in it, because certain things probably were true, but just in that current reality. But it switches, bro. Like, it shifts. And you got to be able to shift your mindset and contradict it, and do things different ways, and have different ways of thinking, and looking at things from different angles. Because, like, you could get too caught up in just doing things a certain way, and now you're out of touch with the current reality.